Hey everybody, my name is Angie Morenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's the Voices of the Ecclesia and it's the 30th day of October. So the month of October has ended. Oh my goodness. We now only have November and December and the year is over. It's going so fast,
Yes.
and that's what I really feel.
Yeah.
It really is going fast.
Yeah.
So Marura,
Yes.
me, I'm telling you, I'm jumping out of my skin. I'm so grateful the way that went, but I
Yeah.
was very surprised.
Yeah.
So I think I'd like to, first of all, I'm so grateful that you were born again at
Yeah.
23.
Yes.
Many of us, we were in places we cannot explain where we were at 23. So maybe, because I'm thinking looks like there's a journey here, because you're 23, you're serving in church, and then this happens. You're called Jezebel, there's church hurt, there's forgiveness, there's this woman now, because I feel like, you've come into your own and you're asking people not to give you pressure, just let me be as you also be, and we see and we grow from each other. But okay, so now Canada. First of all, when did you get born again? That journey, when did you get born again?
I got born again 92 from 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
So high school ministry.
High school ministry.
Was it a boarding school? Did people come to school?
Boarding school. It was a
Wow.
normal service, and I used to be the kind of people who would imitate tongues and make jokes out of it. I know.
I did as well. You're talking to me because I won't even quote evil. Okay? People would get born again. I would insult them and say this is fake, and you're so fake, and you're so okay.
Yeah.
And
And,
you would imitate the tongue.
Yes, Form 1, and I'm seated behind with Form 4s. And I'm there like really laughing and everything. And this particular day, I remember Pastor Ambrose was there and he was ministering. And I'm laughing all through. Huh?
No.
Yes.
No.
And
Laughing.
yes, because I'm just like, what is this? And my aunties were born again. I mean, they would come and tell me, one of them would say, I need you to get born again. And I'd say, not with your God. No, sorry, auntie. Not with your God, And I just kind of felt that this was not for me, And so he goes on to minister, and then at the end, he sings a song. He says, the Holy Spirit. And I laughed because I'm like, Holy Spirit. Says, I sing a song. And he sings the hymn of Amazing Grace. And I can tell you, I don't know, Pastor Angie, what happened to me. All I know is that I found myself, everybody had left, and I'm the only one, the hall, behind, seated. And I can see them there. Pastor Ambrose with the CU people. And he comes to me and he says, would you like to give your life to Christ? And I said, I would, but only to that God in that song. And then he said, which song? Then I said, the one you sang at the end. That's the God I want. And then I told him, sing it again. And Pastor Ambrose obediently sang that song again. And after that, I said, now I want that God. And he said, I can introduce you to that God. And that's how my life began. And as soon as I did, oh my God, I was given 24 hours, 48 hours, 1 week. And I went to the field. It was Sunday. I went straight to the field. I sat down and I said, I don't know if you exist, but if you truly exist, there are 3 things I want you to do for me. Number 1, I want you to make me and my mom friends. We were not. Number 2, I want my grandmother to get born again. She was a Muslim. Number 3, I want my auntie, specific auntie, to get born again. Muslim, she believed in witchcraft, all that stuff. So I gave God the impossibility in my eyes. And I said, if these 3 things come to pass, then I will believe you exist. And I got up and I went to the dorm, and everybody was like, congratulations. Of course, there's the Christian ones would come and hug me and everything. And the ones who were joking together would come and say, 24 hours, girl, 24 hours.
We're going to see how long this lasts.
Yeah. And I did not have a mentor. I did not have anyone who could guide me So every evening I would do what I would see you people do. So I'm saying, okay, so you guys sit over here and have your Bible. Okay. So I found my space and I would sit, and I would remember I was in St. George's. So I'd look across the field. Up at the far end, I would see a cross. I still don't know what that church is. And that's where I would always focus on that cross. And every day I would have a conversation. I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know anything. So I'd have my Bible, and I'm just like, I said, God, teach me. How do we do this thing? Because again, I'm being here 48 hours. So 48 is still here ticking,
It's knowing from 24 now to 48.
Yeah, because I know, okay, I'm going to backslide, And I also didn't want anyone to teach me about their God. I wanted this one.
And that's what
I had already.
Grace. Yes. You had felt a connection with this God through the song.
Through the song. That's what I wanted to know. And so I just wanted him to talk to me, to teach me how to pray, to teach me how to read this word.
And he did. And I'm sure he did. And high school ministry then is very important.
Yeah.
I think you also bring an element for whoever's out there and you can reach people in high school.
Yeah.
It's very, very important because you reach them at a good space. And they say there's some statistics that when people get born again in high school, it's even if they backslide at some point, they will come back to God. There's something that's really ingrained in them that doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So I think there's also a challenge for those of us who feel we have the calling. And even if you don't feel you have the calling and you have the opportunity, I think high school ministry is something that we need to do.
And then
we
just
go back when they're young.
Be obedient, because you're dealing with people who are getting to their own.
Yes, so they're coming into their own space.
Yes.
So is there also like a rebellious thing in us? Yeah. That's why you're saying, I don't want the God of my auntie. Your God is not the one I want. I want the God
this
of
one
this
I've
one.
had.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's it. There's a rebellion streak, and they're trying to become their own person.
Yeah.
So we have to be careful, because that's a conversation that's going on in them. That's amazing. And you saw also
for me, I thank God that Pastor Ambrose
the humility
was humble enough to sing that song again.
Yeah. And to come to you.
Yeah.
And to sing it again.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I just
Pastor
thank God.
Ambrose.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
And then fast forward is the one who had me. So hey.
He did.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, holla. Oh, good.
Yeah.
And so high school, you're determined. Oh, first of all, we have the three things.
Yeah.
Did they come to pass?
They did. They all came to pass. My auntie right now is a prophetess. Oh my God. As in for fire. Those ones of you look at her and I'm just amazed. My mother got born again, and me and her now started exchanging notes. My mother was a deputy principal. I will not say which school, because all of you will know her. And so she came to school one day, and I was called to the principal's office, and I found her there, and she said, I got born again. And I said,
is that what she had come to say?
Yes. And she said, I was wondering if me and you can exchange letters about what we have learned on our quiet time. Remember, me and Mom are not friends, so this is the only thing that worked for us.
Wow.
So I said, yeah, why not? And that is what made our bond become very strong. So now me and my mom are inseparable.
Imagine.
Yeah. And then my grandmother comes to one day, I think I was in form 2. And she comes, and she during visiting day, and she says, I was heading somewhere, and I passed through a church, and they were singing. Now in Kiswahili, the Costarian accent is so funny, because she says, walikuwa naimba tu ingia, anasema ingia nini hawa? Nikasema acha niingie basi. And she said as soon as she entered,
oh my goodness,
that's it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit just came upon her. And all she could just talk about was Jesus. And that's where, and when she said it, I remember I was like, oh my God. Who did I just dare?
You dared God.
That was the first thing I kept thinking, who is this I just dared? And then my auntie. And then I knew, then this God I'm serving is real.
It's real, because the three things you'd asked him to demonstrate himself by, he did.
Yeah.
And so when you went to Canada, you went to school, you're born again still, you're hanging out, and then we had this whole fiasco of Jezebel. If you missed it, watch last Sunday.
Yes.
Of Jezebel and everything. So, and then you had backslidden.
Yes.
So what's the comeback? How did you come back from that now?
The comeback now was the US.
So you moved from Canada.
I moved from Canada. I went to
Was
the
it
US.
immediate?
Not immediate. It wasn't immediate. I think it was 2-3 years after.
Really?
Yeah.
So in the 2-3 years you were backslidden?
Oh yeah.
You were in a backslidden. You also, but I don't think you were. But you
No,
were in
yeah, I don't. I know.
In your confession.
Trust me, I wasn't, because I would go to the club because, hey, we're gonna go as far as God as we can.
Yeah.
So I
like
started.
You dare him.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So we started hanging out with this guy, and this guy really liked me, and he wasn't born again. So that's the guy I targeted. You know.
You targeted the one who's not born again.
Yes, and he used to say, "You church girl," and I would be like, "That's I target you."
Yeah.
And I would tell him, "Let's go," and he took me to. Okay, am I allowed to say this?
Yeah, you're allowed to say anything here.
Okay. He took me to a strip club.
Okay.
And here I am thinking, this is it. This is it. This is not it.
This is Sin
no
City.
way God
you
can
get
come
back from
here.
this.
I'm done. And then the lady
Come here, me spoke to me in science. Do you remember science?
Yes.
Do you remember how dark and black science was? I was like, what are you doing here? Even me, I told him, hey, you have lost the way. What are you doing here? And he's telling me, tomorrow I want you to go to church. I'm like, you're in the lost place. You're in the wrong place.
Let me tell you. So this girl is doing her thing, and I am so amazed at how she's doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm of course, I'm not looking at anything. I mean, I'm just looking at how she's managing to balance
on
herself.
her pole and everything.
I am like, oh my God, I need to try this.
Oh my goodness, Marura. Jesus.
So this guy I am with, he starts laughing, and he says, I can't believe the church girl is here. And I'm like, And now this is the one thing that I found strange, that I came later on to realize in Psalms 139. This lady comes. Now, she comes to where we are, and of course...
The lady who's stripping?
Yes, so she comes there, and of course the guy takes money, $1, and puts it on her.
Yeah.
And then she looks at me and she says, you don't belong here.
Hey!
And I'm looking at her like, what does she know?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yes.
Huh?
So this guy, he was a Rwandese. This guy looks at me and says, you see?
Church girl.
Maybe she even comes to your church. So I'm like, I'm telling you, when I read 139 about...
Read it.
I better read it.
I can't believe this.
I better read it. Let me
She
tell
says you don't belong here.
She says you don't belong here.
And that has happened to a number of people, where they're out doing things that you're like, you're not supposed to be here. What?
Yep, you don't belong here. Where it says...
Is this one says every day is made before you? I think verse 13, 14.
8. 139, 8. It says, where can I go to escape your spirit?
Wow.
Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in hell, you are there.
And you are trying to make your bed in hell? First of all, this Jama is still referring to you as church
Church
girl.
girl.
And she comes and says, she looks you straight in the eye and says, you don't belong here.
Yeah, says you don't belong here. And I'm like, maybe it's the way I've dressed.
No, it's the spirit.
But I didn't know that.
It's the same spirit.
I didn't know that.
It's the spirit and the calling.
I did not know
that.
that.
And the grace.
Me, I'm looking at this guy, I'm like, maybe next time I should wear a mini skirt. Because I'm thinking I was just wearing jeans and a top, And so anyway, it was crazy. And I go to the US and I go to the clubs. And now I go to the clubs with my sister and my brother. And I just couldn't stand the smoke.
In the club?
I could not stand it. So I would go in there, and of course I've made my hair. Then the smell. 2 minutes. No, not just the smell. My hair just shrivels. Yeah. Like, I'm like, what is this? Because of the heat. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? So I come out. And then I stopped going to the club. I just told my brothers, I just can't do this. And my brother kept saying, where rudi kwa Mungu?
Even him?
Yeah. He just said, where rudi kwa Mungu? I don't understand. And I'm like, no. And then, so my sister would buy me, so I tried drinking, of course. Then she would buy me wine coolers, right? 6-pack wine coolers. And then I would look at the percentage
of alcohol.
And then I'm sitting there, and I couldn't even finish one bottle.
Imagine.
Not because of anything. It just didn't.
It's not you.
I couldn't feel the taste. And then it was strawberry. I mean, she went for the sweetest.
The sweetest.
But still, I just felt, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So one day, we came from the club, of course, after staying for only 2 minutes. So this guy takes me, not 2 minutes, but really maybe 20, 25, I tell this guy, my brother's friend, just take me back home. And as we are heading home, I asked him, is there a church? And then he says, yes, there is. Do you want a Kenyan church? What church do you want? I'm saying, there's a Kenyan church. Yeah, okay. Where? Then he tells me, how about this? Tomorrow, I'll pick you up. I drop you to church. I said, okay, what time? Wow. It starts at 10. I said, okay. So he goes back to the club. He drops me, goes back to the club. I wake up in the morning, shower, dress up. Of course, by the time I'm sitting having my breakfast, that's when my sister and my brother are walking in. And they're like, yeah, your car is waiting for you to go to church. Bye. And I go. And I sit in this church behind and I listen to this man of God talking. And I'm going through all these things of, God, I'm back here, you know? Why am I back here? But I am behind now. I am focused. I am not going there.
There, in front, you know? Proximity.
Yeah.
We talked about proximity as well. So you're not going back to the front.
No.
I'm going to stay at the back.
Yeah. Listen and then leave. Yeah. And he comes to me.
Who comes to you now?
The man of God.
Oh my God.
He's preaching. Then he comes to me and he kneels down. I know. And he says, I am asking you to forgive us on behalf of the man of God that hurt you. Wait. Like, what is it? So I keep telling him, stop, get up. You know, like, what are you doing? You know? And this time, of course, the church is full and I'm new, you know? So really, nobody knows me.
And this is the Kenyan church?
Yes. Nobody knows me. That time, Dawn is there and Julian is there.
What do you mean?
Yes, this is now where they go to church.
Aye.
So they're seeing all this drama happening.
Your future husband is there.
And I'm looking at this man of God and I'm like, what are you doing? Literally, I told him, please stop doing that. And he said, please forgive us. And I just couldn't take it. I could not. I just kept saying, please, just get up. Please get up. And he did. And then he said, I'll see you after this. Where? So he goes back to minister. And then as he's finishing, he says, in the evening, we have a youth thing. So please come. And, you know, everyone come, where, whatever. So he goes, he stops, and I ran out because I knew he had said he wants to see me. So I left and I went. So in the evening, I said, let me go back to the youth. In my mind, I knew he's not going to be there. So I went and we had the first game was meet somebody who you don't know, get to know them, and then you'll be called and, you know, kind of give a brief of what you've known about that person. And who approaches me? Dawn.
You're like, for real, it's a movie. We need a movie. It's a movie.
So Dawn approaches
you.
Yes. And Dawn says, you see, this is what he says. He says, you see that dude? He's my friend.
Who now, Pastor Julian?
No, now the MC. No, not Julian, now the MC. He goes, that's my friend. And he's going to call me. So let's do this. Please tell me what I need to know about you. Because I know he'll call me. So I told him, I am not born again. That was the first thing I told him. And I'm new in the US.
I am not born again.
Yes, and this is my first time here. And I'm the firstborn of 6 children. And I kept going on and on. And he would just listen. And sure enough, he was called, you know.
To come and say who he met.
And so he gives a brief, whatever. And after that, he says, you know, he comes to me and he says, I'd really love if we can go for, like, there's something that's happening. Like, what are they called? It's... oh my God, I was going to say Cross Point, which is our term in ROAC. Bible study, the cell groups.
Cell groups,
okay, yes. Okay. So he says, there's a cell group. I would like to pick you tomorrow, Monday. We go. And I said, okay, you know. And I gave him the address. He came, picked me up. I went, and that's just how it was now. I would sit down, listen to the word, people talking, and, you know, just quiet, listening. And then one day, Dawn, I think after 3 months, he took me out for dinner. And then he asked me, if you die today, where are you going?
Hey, it's a deep question.
And I said, hell, of course. There's no back door to heaven. I'll never forget those words. And I just broke down, Pastor Angie, as soon as I heard myself say that.
That there is no back door to heaven.
Yeah, I broke down and I started crying. I cried. There was, I wish Don was here. I think his version is more funnier, because on the next table there was a cop. There were 2 cops having their dinner or something.
Did he think
so they kept looking.
They're gonna arrest him?
No, they kept looking at me. Because I was in tears now.
So they're about to arrest Don.
So they kept
because
looking,
what
and
is
I'm
he
just
doing
like,
to this girl?
And Don is just like, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. And I just, and I gave my life to God. And before I did, I told him, before you lead me, let me pray first. And I said, Lord, I know I made a mistake when I said, get out of my life. So I'm about to ask you to come in. And I just pray that this time around, it's going to be a long time, you know. Yeah, then I told him, okay, now you can lead me.
And he led you.
And he led me.
And the cops left.
Yeah, of
I
course
knew
they
that
left.
you were in safe hands. They didn't come to check whether you're okay.
The cops left, and that's how I
rededicated your life.
I dedicated my life.
So as you speak, because I'm so fascinated, I'm so glad I didn't know these stories, but I'm so grateful because what I feel is that you were always marked. You were always marked for this greatness. You've always been marked for Jesus. It's good. I think sometimes the going away, people don't agree, but it's good.
Yeah.
It's good sometimes because you were born again really early.
Yeah.
So it's good to have that phase where you're like, okay, bye, see you. Me, we're not together. And then the coming back to God and the emotion that it evolves and evokes, and even the Psalm 139 of where you can go from God. But you know, Psalm 139 also talks about that every day was before the day happened.
Yes.
Yeah, we were knit together and God had already ordained the days.
Yes.
So this is it's his plan.
Yes.
It's God's plan.
Yeah.
Even when we try to put a spanner in it, which for me I like the spanners because they then affirm and confirm that you're called and that you belong with God. Even if we try the other things, that's not where you belong, and other people can see it. Other people can see it, and I think also, what you gonna say?
For me, I think the mark that you talked about, the calling, that you don't even realize you have it.
Yes.
But of course, the enemy knows that.
Yes.
You know. I feel for me the greatest place. It's not just even backsliding as you are growing, but even when you now realize your calling and step into it, then there becomes, like new levels, new demons. Where people say, they say it so lightly, but the demons are for real. And that is when I feel that you get a mature knowledge of who God is at that point. Because this other time, it's just born again, getting saved. You just want to stay saved or not stay saved. But now you get to realize your purpose.
Yeah.
And now it's, oh my God, this is what the enemy is fighting now.
Sometimes I feel like, and he does fight. He fights back because I even heard recently a man of God say something which that the enemy cannot stop what needs to happen in your life, but he can cause delays.
Oh yeah.
He can cause delays. He'll put distraction. He'll put shortcuts. He'll put all sorts of things, and maybe even identity is very important, because if you don't know who you are, that's why he works on that identity. Because I feel like he keeps revealing new layers of himself. And so this is the identity you need to be in when you're doing this. But now as you step into calling and purpose and different stages and levels of that purpose, he continues to reveal the next level. Like he can't tell you all these things at once.
Yep. Yes.
So it's as you grow,
Yes.
as you journey,
Yes.
as you make mistakes, because we make very many mistakes.
Yes.
Sometimes even I like to dare God and tell him, and I'm going now. Bye. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Stop me where you feel, because you're like, let's see whether this works or doesn't work. And sometimes I just want to be like, I'm tired. I'm so tired of this. I'm so tired of this life. Can we please do something else now? I'm tired. Can we spice this up or something?
Yeah.
But then he'll always bring you back to the place where you need to be. But I think it's important to have that almost tug of war.
Yes.
It's good to have the tug of war.
It is.
I feel like, because like now I'm just seeing like a vision in my spirit, like, but you're still holding the rope.
Yeah.
He just gives you rope.
Yes.
Like, keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yes.
But you can only go so far.
Yes.
Then the rope ends,
Yeah.
and he now starts
Pulling you back.
yeah, drawing you in,
Yeah.
come back here,
Yeah.
and then you realize, okay, I'm home. You know, that was just a tantrum.
Yeah.
I just want a tantrum, and me, I'm done with you.
And we are allowed to have tantrums.
We are allowed to have
we're
tantrums.
his children.
And we're allowed to make mistakes.
Yes.
I think that's very, very important.
Yeah.
We're allowed to have tantrums. We're allowed to make mistakes.
Yeah.
We're allowed, you can give God a timeout. It's okay. Give
Yeah.
him a timeout. It's
Yeah.
all right. He's a father.
Yeah.
He'll know how to get back from the timeout.
Yes.
You know, I think that's very, very important.
Yes.
And there's something else I wanted to say also. I think from your stories, the 2 Sundays you shared, is that, and I think maybe we'll start next Sunday with that, is this place where now you stop giving men and women of God,
Yeah.
I don't want to say the power, the
Reverence.
authority. Yes, maybe
Yeah.
reverence, power. You start having your own relationship
Yes.
with Jesus
Yes.
Christ,
Yes.
understanding that they are there. They're,
Yeah.
they're roles they play,
Yes.
but they are not God.
Yes.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
not God.
Yeah.
They're human beings.
Yeah.
They have flaws.
Yeah.
And each of us needs to find our way.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is about the person in the strip club, because that's happened a lot. There are people even who go to have several people who I know who've gone to have a tattoo, and the tattoo artist has refused to tattoo them. Have you ever seen such things? There's even one who
My
removed a
God.
Bible. Where he had a Bible. She's like, "Are you okay?" Yeah, and she was living in a foreign country, and the guy said, I can't tattoo you," and she's like, "What are you talking about?" He says, "No," and one even removed a Bible.
Oh,
brought
wow.
the Bible out. They were like, "No, this one is not for you." We were like, "What do you mean this one is not? Kwani, who is it for?" You know.
Yeah.
So the lady
Yeah.
in the strip club,
yeah.
they can see. There's a way that people, they see God, they see the glory of God in you. So it also makes clear
Yeah.
that there is a heaven and a hell. There is the spirit of God and the spirit of the enemy. It's
Yeah.
actually true.
Yeah.
Because these other people in the other kingdom can see.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lady who used to do porn, and she was born again. So she'd been raised up as a Christian. I guess, I don't know whether it's that rebellion streak that gets you going. So she knew the word. And every time she'd go do her porn, first of all, she'd have to do it in darkness. And she would never open her eyes for some reason, she said, I think. But she knew the word. Even as she's engaging, she knew what she's doing is wrong. She knew what the scriptures are. She was reciting them. There was this like battle going on for her spirit. And then when she finally got born again, she went and found, I don't know, her Bible from when she was younger in her mother's basement or her grandmother's basement, and then came back to God. But it was very interesting to hear her say that that spirit of God within her never died. That she knew, and she knew the truth. So I think that's also good, because sometimes people wonder, is this real? Is this the whole spirit of God and heaven and the spirit of the enemy? Is it real? But it actually is. Because those are the moments that prove it.
It is real.
When people will refuse to
real.
tattoo you, people will tell you don't belong here.
You don't belong here.
People will say, can you just move away from here? This is not your space.
Yeah.
Because they who are on the other side can see.
Yeah.
But even that lady must have had some semblance of the spirit of truth in her at some point in her life, because she was able to see you.
But God can use anybody
to speak to you.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Yeah.
I bet if I was to ever ask her, what do you mean? What did you mean? What did you mean by that? She, maybe her answer wouldn't have been spiritual, churchy.
Yeah. She just knew.
Yeah.
And she had to say it in that moment. Yeah. But then again, as we bring it to a close for the 4th time, but you can imagine what it takes God. You see, God is very... The word is, I think, calculating, intentional, because it had to be that particular strip club. It had to be that woman who is stripping, because the other people
I know.
Somehow he knows this one will deliver my message.
Yes.
Because the others will keep telling you that 15 times. They're like, I must say it. This one, there's also something about her.
Yeah.
That she
That's
could come
true.
and deliver the
That
message
is
and
true.
say, you don't
Yes.
belong. She hasn't even been asked a question.
Yes.
She's supposed to be
Yes.
receiving money, and she's telling you don't belong here.
Oh, yeah. It reminds me of the story of Mary Magdalene with her box.
Yeah. Alabaster box.
Yeah. She knew who Christ was.
Yeah.
She knew.
Yeah.
And yet those who were around her, who were supposedly supposed to have known, did not know that his time has come.
Yeah.
but she knew.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
even Rahab. Is it Rahab who was
Yes.
the prostitute?
Yeah. Yeah.
She knew. And so God uses anyone and everybody. Amen.
Yeah.
So I hope you
Amen.
encouraged me. I'm like, wow. And so Dawn and Michelle. So, but now Dawn is her husband
Yes.
now. So absolutely amazing. If you're the youth, please go to youth meetings. Go and meet
Yes.
people. Play games. Those kind of games. You never know who you're going to meet. But there's
never
so
know.
many lessons from that story. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for sharing.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
God
you so
bless
much
you,
for
Just
having me.
Angie family. And we're coming back next week. Let's see where God leads us. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.